Good morning and welcome back to our Journeying Through the Bible series. Today we're looking at the book of Exodus, which amongst all the wonderful narratives in the Hebrew Scriptures was, I think, the most important to the Israelites. Because in it we see a pattern of what's going on in this fallen world and how God responds to it and what God's plan is for it. We see oppressive powers and principalities enslaving God's people. We see God raising up leaders in order to set those people free. We see God giving chance after chance and giving choices to those evil powers and principalities to change their ways or not. We see justice and destruction and evil coming to those who don't change their ways because they're continuing to choose evil. And when you choose evil, it's going to come your way. And then lastly, we see God setting his people free and providing justice and deliverance. Our African American and Caribbean American brothers and sisters here in America loved this narrative of God setting his people free from slavery. And they sang songs out in the fields, and they hoped that the same God of the universe would set them free too. And they trusted that he would. And here we are 400 years later, and in our own time, over the last, it's been 100 years, 50 years, over the last few years, we continue to see that deliverance come to them, and what a blessing it is to have it happening in our own time. We too ought to have that same hope because we have been enslaved by evil powers and principalities also. Whether we have been the oppressor or the oppressed, and generally speaking, we have been both to differing degrees. So I would ask you to just look at Exodus 1 to 18. And if you're a skeptic, I would ask you to have an open mind and to listen a little bit better than Pharaoh, who said to Moses and Aaron, "I don't know this God of the Hebrews." Well, Moses and Aaron responded, "Well, God might not have revealed himself to you, but he has revealed himself to us." And I would ask you to consider what we understand to be the revelation of God to the whole world, and take a look at Jesus too. In Matthew 1 through 5 specifically this week, Matthew understands Jesus to be the new Moses. And so place yourself in these stories. And perhaps there's something that you need to change. I myself have just recently implemented a little change, and I've seen tremendous fruit being born. Or perhaps you're feeling oppressed and feeling a need for deliverance and freedom. I want you to look at what Jesus said and did, and whether or not he might touch your deepest parts and help you to see and trust that God in fact is real, and that justice and love and peace are the deepest realities. And that these intuitions deep inside you can be trusted, and live into them, open yourself up to them, receive them day after day. God has a wonderful plan for your life, and I encourage you to repent of the things that you're doing wrong and live into the good things that God has in store for this universe. Thanks so much for listening.